So something that has always been super pertinent in my life, and I feel like it's really huge in everyone else's lives, is music. Music has such a interesting effect on people, honestly. Like you have music that inspires, you have music that just honestly changes how you view the world sometimes. Like music is just absolutely insane. And the fact that you can just like do that with a sound that you hear, it's kind of amazing. I mean, if you really think about it, you have music. If you were to hear it now, like it just takes you back. You get like a whole flashback of memories that come to mind and what it all meant to you. It's kind of crazy, if I'm not gonna lie. I've always loved music, and honestly, something that's always been really interesting is my personal taste in music, honestly. Never really lined up with what was popular. I mean, if you go back to when I was in high school or whatever, all the things that were popular at the time, honestly, just didn't really land with me. Some were good. I mean, you always had songs that really stood out. But there's definitely times when they were just not that good of songs. It's just a different era, a different time. But something that always has been true for me is I really like classical symphonic orchestra type music. And a perfect example of that type of music is this game's soundtrack, actually. I love Skyward Sword's OST. I mean, from just like how it makes you feel, how it makes you understand what's going on. It's bizarre to me how much the music conveys alone in this game. Whether it's something that's really pressing or if it's a moment of sadness, of romance, of just happiness. You hear it. For example, you have like this music that's going on right now. It's pretty happy and light music overall. And it just sets the mood of like this is Skyloft. This is just amazing. I mean, this world just kind of being the way it is, it really lets you learn about the place Link is from, where Zelda is, kind of their past together, how they're just they're really close, and something that's super special and unique to, I feel, this game. If I were to think about like the things that I wanted to do as a kid, or at least when I was younger, it was definitely in the list to become like an orchestra, like a player in an orchestra for video games. If I like somehow managed to land a pot and like play in a Zelda game, like my music was in a Zelda game, that would be huge and just change everything for me, honestly. And I mean, I've kind of done a little bit of work to that. So I actually have experience playing the double bass in orchestra, and this thing's huge. But it actually wasn't originally my first pick. I really wanted to play the violin. I thought the violin was the coolest thing. I watched this one YouTuber violinist, and her name is Taylor Davis, and she actually had some really cool albums, or maybe just a singular album. I don't remember how many. It's been a little bit since I've listened to her. But growing up, I would listen to her music, and she had a lot of Zelda covers, and that always kind of brought something to my eye. Like, you know what? That's so cool. I want to do that. I want to play violin. Um, it didn't end up working out. Later on, I was like, okay, I'll try playing cello. Cello is really cool. It was my music teacher's favorite instrument way back when. And cello is a beautiful instrument, but it didn't work out either. I was actually told, this is a little funny story. I was actually told that we have too many cellos, so pick something else. And I was like, oh, dang. Because I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Because you have orchestra size, you don't want one sound dominating the orchestra. But I guess I'll just pick the next one. I'll pick bass. So I decided I want to play that one. If I can't play violin or cello, I'll pick that one. So I get to school that first day, right? And I walk up, and one of the first thing my teacher says is, "Hey, I something happened. We don't have any cello players. No one picked cello." I'm sitting here like, bro, I literally wanted to play cello, and you just did not let me. Like, I actually requested to play that instrument, and I was told no. You know, like it's one thing if I didn't pick that originally. I know they meant well whenever that happened, but like I wanted to play that. But now I had the bass. I had seen the bass and it looked really cool to me. I wasn't about to drop it. And the question came up. Oh no, I don't think I had a say because at the time there's two basses, but the other bass player didn't stay very long. They went back over to band. I think they were a band player at heart, and we weren't about to stop them. So figured, well, oh well. We can't drop the bass player, so they're like, we have too many violins. Um, who wants to switch over? And for a while, no one switched. He's like, all right, well, we're not doing anything until two people volunteer to play cello. Um, Kind of left us in that awkward position of just like, well, who's gonna do it? I wasn't allowed to, so it had to be the violins. And to my knowledge, none of them had played violin before that, prior to that. But it was something that they definitely chose to do at that time. That's what they wanted to play. I can't diss on that. Eventually, three people stepped up to take the part of being the cellos in the orchestra. They were all pretty down about it from what I can remember. It was pretty interesting. But one of the two of the three cellos just kind of sucked. They never adjusted to that change. They, I think, really had the mindset of just really not wanting to do it. And so it was pretty rough. But you got these one cello player. She went after it. She had a passion for the cello. She started playing it and fell in love with it. Super cool to see. I actually played with her quite a bit throughout my time in orchestra. But yeah, I was in orchestra for 7 years, and I actually had this same instructor for most of the 7 years. There was chunks of time he wasn't there, but most of the time he was there helping me out. I love that man. He was an amazing teacher, amazing instructor. He's retired now, but I would always love to play with him again. That's something I always loved to do. Like in high school, we actually got to play some really difficult type music. Some of the most difficult, I guess, I don't know crazy ton about modern stuff, but John Williams has done some amazing work within the modern age with movies and just like the effect that has on people. I mean, you have some music from John Williams. I don't know if you've heard of all of his pieces, but you have music from Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Jaws, so many, and so many more. It's just kind of endless. And the amount of success it has on affecting the story and just kind of moving it is insane. We ended up actually playing some of John Williams' original scores in high school, which was something that was super unique. In fact, I don't think that's just something really easy to get your hands on for a high school. My orchestra teacher at the time, he was in the local symphony, and he managed to convince the symphony to give us copies of a few of the original scores, signature scores that John Williams himself wrote for us to play. And oh my goodness, it was amazing concert. We had three pieces. Um, we had one from one of John Williams' original works, which was in a movie called Cowboys. Very, very nice movie. It's definitely old, but you got cowboys, you got these boys learning to grow up and whatnot. And the piece is called Cowboys Overture. Super fun, pretty difficult, and fast and upbeat. That one, if I'm correct, was like a 10-minute piece, which for a high school performance, pretty crazy. And then you had other pieces from other movies, from things like Jurassic Park, which is another beautiful signature score from him, with all the difficulty it had. And they had spots where it was in 12/8. I mean, you're talking like high school students have never done more than like more. The most difficult they had is probably 6/8 on time signature. But it was so fun, such a great concert. The third one was Schindler's List. We played a piece from there, just showing just the kind of diversity in this music that John Williams had. It just was so amazing and so special to be a part of that. And the fact that I got to do that just really spoke to me. It's been something that I've always wanted to do. And from then on, my dream, I think that was sophomore year, we actually got to do that for me. I really wanted to get into it, like professional symphony. Not necessarily in the video game industry, because I know that doesn't pay that much. I mean, being a musician doesn't really pay, but I really wanted to be a part of that. And if I got into a game one, I mean, I would not complain whatsoever. But it was an amazing concert. We had some amazing players in that orchestra. And those are some memories that, with some friends I made, that lifelong friends, that I'll never forget. Coming out of high school, I it was an interesting time for me coming out of high school because how it ended. So I graduated in the class of 2020, which all like everyone knows, that's the class COVID, you know, graduating class of COVID 20, and it was definitely an interesting time. I remember right before COVID hit, there was a whole chunk of time where we finally got the permission to do like a school trip for orchestra. And this trip was to New York, and it was an amazing trip. One I will also remember. But we went and saw Broadway shows. We saw a professional symphony play. It was just spectacular. It's definitely like just the script of like the dream life I would have to for what I really wanted to do. And we came back from that, and when we came back, it was in the middle of spring break, so we didn't go back to school. We just went home, and then we never came back. It's a bit sad, but yeah, I there's friends I haven't seen to this day. Uh, where I said see you after spring break, left early to go on this trip, and never I haven't seen him. And as time went on, after 2020, where I had to actually return my school base because I didn't own one, I had to return the base I had been renting, and it was honestly just really bittersweet while being like the most awkward thing ever. Oh, oops. While being the most awkward thing ever because we couldn't really do anything with the workshop teacher, but we had to give it back to him. So we just kind of dropped it off at the school, away, like far from him, and just took it, you know? And he just took it, and that was the last time I've used a bass. Ever since, I've always wanted to get back to it, but I never was able to. So much has happened since then. I went on like a church mission to as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I did that for 2 years, which was a whole chunk of time. And I guess even before that, I went to work. The August of 2020, I got a job with Walmart. There, I don't know if all Walmarts do this, but the one I was at, they had people sanitizing the carts, and I was hired to sanitize the carts and make sure they're all cleaned up so people can use them and whatever. So that was my thing. I did that for uh like I think it was like 7 months when until um it kind of just went out the window. We stopped doing that, and it just wasn't a priority to the store anymore to do that. So I kind of just helped with everything up there. I would help with the cart guys, the people, the cart pushers. I was a part of that gig. I helped the door greeters. I spotted them if they need breaks. Just basically did the whole shebang. Oh, I may have to. Yeah, I forgot. I have to not have a potion. Rip 20 rupees. Remember how they said not to spend it all in one place? Awkward. Anyway, so I did that for like another 3 months. Around the 10-month mark, they were like, "Hey, so your placement technically isn't real, um, but we really like you as a worker. You're a hard worker. So how would you like to be a cashier?" And at the time, this was right before summer was about to hit. Um, Coming up on probably around March or April. And so it was starting to get hot. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do that. Learned how to be a cashier. It was great. Good experience handling money. It was good all around. And I did that for another 4 months before quitting to go on that church mission I was talking about earlier. I went on that church mission to St. George, Utah, and it was there that I actually learned Spanish as well. I taught and talked to people in Spanish, which was pretty unique, and a very useful skill I get to keep afterwards, obviously. So it was very much special to me and just a great learning experience, just a huge chunk of life over the span of 2 years. You got to see people from all sides of life and everything. And it was during that time I was kind of just searching, I guess, like soul searching, like what do I want to do? You know, I had decided that being a musician, like as much as I love that meant so much to me. I couldn't really chase that dream. That's something that didn't really work. It didn't pay. It was fun, but like the only way it would pay is if I traveled, which is a lot. And if I were to travel, that'd be hard for my future family or whatnot. I don't even own a base. I'd have to buy one. Those are freaking expensive. I couldn't fathom it. So I was trying to find from what other people had done, what were some other things that I can be a part of, work wise, or go to college and study for, that type of thing. And nothing really came. Really awkward, but nothing really stuck out to me as something I wanted to do. Back 2023, I get home from my 2 year long mission, and I just kind of don't know what to do. And I mean, I was like, I guess the next step is school. Thought about getting all my things together to go to school, but the money issue came up. Just just kind of showing like, yeah, that's just not really realistic for me and my family right now. I can't really commit to school as much as I really wanted to. Um, there's nothing that could kind of overcome that money issue. And so I applied for quite a few jobs at the time. I applied to UPS. Um, they had a seasonal position going on. Basically, Christmas time. I got back in November. So by the time Christmas time came around, I got this job with UPS, and I was basically the runner for the driver. And so I'd run the packages to people's doors. Since it was their, I forgot what type of season it's called, but it was just a busy season, and I would just have to, do that. But it didn't last forever. In fact, I was laid off the 24th, I believe, literally Christmas Eve. I got laid off, which I wasn't really mad about. I knew it wasn't a permanent position. Oh, shoot. I knew it wasn't a permanent position, but my thing with that was they never actually told me the date I was gonna leave. I just kind of assumed it might have gone through New Year's because you know life's busy up until that point. But no, they let me go at Christmas Eve, which was fine. I had made my buck. I was able to buy gifts for my family members, so it was fine. I didn't really have problems with that. But they left me without a job again, so I started applying more places. Uh, I applied to Walmart. I wanted to do. Actually, I didn't apply to Walmart because I already worked at Walmart. I applied to Sam's Club. That's what it was. I applied to Sam's Club stocking. I applied to HEB curbside and stocking. HEB is I guess it kind of tells me look where it tells y'all where I am location wise. HEB is a Texas grocery store, and it is a beloved location here. Very popular, great store. They got quality there. But I would go there, and every now and then it's a pretty solid store. But I applied to a ton of other places as well, and didn't really get a response. It was actually really funny. I was kind of out of a job for several months. No one was accepting my application. I guess they just didn't need workers, but it was super weird because everywhere said they were hiring and needed workers. How that made sense, I don't know. But yeah, it just wasn't working out at all. But eventually, HEB did get back to me, and I got the job as a curbside worker, and curbside was pretty fun. In space, I was the guy. I wasn't the guy bringing out the orders, though I could do that. But what I was actually hired for was collect the orders within the store, and so that's something I did for a while. Um, but I was kind of like, yeah, if someone else responds to me, because they said they were interested, and I got like an interview. I was kind of waiting for anything else, but I would go if I got hired, you know. But somewhere else I applied to is actually somewhere my dad. I grew up with him working on it. It's the railroad. The railroad. I mean, if you don't know what a railroad is, you work on trains. This specific job was to be a conductor. So it was the guy that you have two guys on trains. You have the conductor and the engineer. Engineer drives the train. Conductor makes sure we're going the right. We're following all the rules, doing the right thing, that type of thing. That's basically the difference between those. Most people get them quite confused. Um, well, I started working at HEB, and no one else responded. In fact, I think while I was at HEB, Sam's Club responded with a rejection, and I was like, oh dang. And so did quite a few other places that I applied to. And I was just a little sad. But I mean, I had the curbside job, so whatever. Then out of nowhere, after having worked there for about 4 months, I got a response from the railroad job that I applied to, and they're like, "Hey, uh, we'd like to get an interview with you. Um, your application looks good. We'd like to see what you got, what you have to offer." And I was like, "Oh, dang, okay." I get prepped for the interview, and it was good. The only thing that was up with it was I was actually sick for the interview, making it pretty awkward. Not gonna lie, because I was super under the weather, but I wanted to act bold. I wanted to sound full, and so I had to like not fake my voice, but make it sound full while my throat was sore. I had puffy red eyes. I had to look professional for this interview, and so it made for a really funny, um, I guess, introduction. But I did pretty well, I'd say. But we, it comes down to it. I get another call while at work saying, "Hey, uh, you're hired. Can you work in 2 weeks?" And I was like, yeah. 'Cause it was way better money than what I was making at the curbside job. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not turning this down. I got, I put in my 2 weeks notice and it was history. They were all like, what? Why are you leaving? You kind of just got here. And I was like, yeah, but more, more money, more opportunity, you know? And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's fair," and off I went. Now the railroad is like a job. It's so busy. I'm I've been doing it for a little bit now. Um, are we in month 4 now? But since having that job, it made me realize that, I'm not sure if I could do this forever. It's a pretty brutal job, to be fair. Really taxing on the body. You have these 12-hour shifts where you're just out in the heat and it's nonstop go, go, go. You're on call at times. It's just a whole thing. You can get called at like 2 a.m. for work. Literally any hour of the day when you're on call, you have to be ready to go on a dime and go work for 12 hours. It's just so much. But it pays pretty well. So I can't say too much. It's just not something that I don't think I can commit to for as long as my dad has. But with the money, maybe I could save up and go into something else like music again. And so I end up working quite a bit and have some money saved up. And I realized, you know what I can afford now? A bass. I can actually go get one and kind of, refresh. Now, like I said, I returned my original bass I used to play to my school way back in 2020. I haven't played since. I haven't had the instrument. I haven't been able to rent anywhere else. I just never really did it. I didn't have a reason to, nor the money to do it. But now I have this job where I have the capability of saving a little bit, enough to actually get me one. And it's something that I think I'll be able to get back into. So that's something I actually want to talk about today was just, getting back into music. I thought this channel I've made be primarily games and whatnot, but okay, I thought about, oh, what if I did some music content? That would be pretty cool. Something unique, not you don't see it all the time that someone buys, has a bass and plays that. Wow, that's really good RNG to get those. Um, Not every day you see someone playing a humongous instrument like that. And so I've just been thrilled to do this. I think within the week I'm gonna go get one. So I'll be doing some more content like that. So in a way, that's a little update for you guys. I've been working a lot. I plan on doing some music content alongside, my games. And maybe a mixture of the two. I don't know. It could be really cool. So that's something I'll be doing pretty soon is I'll be um, de-rusting. I may stream at times with music. I think that would be a pretty cool, fun thing to do. Maybe even some video game music covers on the bass. I feel like aren't too many people that have, bass covers on the bass. It's something that some people don't even know about nor care about, but definitely a cool thing that I could do that's pretty unique, I feel. Since there's not too much of it. So you could definitely expect me to play some Zelda music on there, some Zelda covers. It'll be awesome. So keep a lookout for that. I killed that bug. I did not catch him. That is unfortunate. Just fell to his ultimate demise. Something I wanted to add to the video is something I actually watched today. I feel like a lot of us, we end up watching a lot of random stuff on YouTube and these media apps. But this one actually came up on my feed. I actually have no idea why I clicked on it, but I just did. And I'm glad I did because it actually had me like think about life and just kind of think of where I'm at, where I want to go, and what I want to do with YouTube. And I mean, YouTube, a lot of people do it for money. I did want to do that at one point in high school. I thought games and music would be my thing. I'd be a musician, and then I'd play games on the side. It would be a amazing moneymaker deal. But oh young me, little did you know, that wouldn't happen. I had max rubies. So I watched this video and it was actually just a guy that kind of was in a similar boat that I was. Uh, he was talking about how he watched a YouTube video that kind of just talked to him and it really spoke to him about how YouTube. There's two videos. There's one talking about, you know, monetization's killing YouTube and creativity and stuff like that, and how YouTube's an art and is created. Oh shoot! I don't have the slingshot. Freaking dang it! Anyways, as I was saying, you have all these, YouTube's, dying to monetization and all lack of creativity. People are just out here trying to make money, and that was never my intent when I started uploading a little bit ago. I tried to do a challenge where I do 100 videos straight. Kind of killed my motivation to do it, honestly. But it was fun while it lasted. So I just decided, you know what, whenever I want to make a video, I'll make a video. That's that. This guy straight up was like, yep, I saw one video and it was just a guy playing a game going on a rant for 45 minutes about his game. And he just watched it all the way through and just was like, wow, that's art. That's unique. But maybe not unique, in the fact no one's done it before, but like it he was just doing his own thing. He didn't do crazy edits, which crazy edits can be cool, but it was just him playing a video game and talking. And that's exactly what this guy was doing in this video. He's playing Sonic 2. And it was a 30-minute video, and I watched the entirety of it. Now, the reason I bring that up is because the it kind of helped push for what I was talking about. Something I really wanted to do is get an instrument, do something not necessarily new, but again, and something I haven't done in a long time. It'll be a hard de-rust. It may be a bit until I upload anything about it, but he's like, if you want to make a video or do something creative art, do it. If this is calling to you, follow it, chase it. And it had this realization where I'm in this spot where I do live alone. I don't have any strings attached to me. I can save a lot of money while spending a little bit here and there and do fun things and try out not necessarily new, but maybe old things, new things with those things and stuff like that. Playing music again is going to be one of them. And I am just genuinely so excited to do it, you know? Bro, 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 that's got to be the worst spot. Okay, that is crazy. I don't think I've ever had an interaction like that but being in a spot like that where I can do that and be a part of all this is something unique. And so I thought I'd do a video in that format to start. I don't have a base yet, but I do have games and I can most definitely talk. And so here I am playing one of my favorite video games and just talking over it. It's not gonna be crazy edited. There'll be, snippets and cuts have you seen up to this point, but I'm just gonna have a fun time, with my favorite video game. So in the future, just keep that in mind. I figured I'd spread the message, just like this YouTuber did. I so sad I could not remember his name, but here here it is on the screen, and as well, I'll put a link to his video just so you can go check it out. Because if you're ever into that type of thing, thought-provoking type YouTubers and conversations, he's a great one to go watch. He really inspired me to actually do this at all today. But yeah, please check him out. He is a huge reason for this. And if you, I guess the thing I wanted to spread was that if you have a feeling or a calling that a feeling that you have to do something, to act, whether that's to, you know, get a new job or leave your current one, or maybe you need to talk to that person, whether that be person like a close friend or an old friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. Maybe it's parents. Maybe it's people you've been seeing around at work, like coworkers. I've done that feeling. You never know where it's gonna take you. I mean, I don't expect this video to do crazy, but it's something that I like, something I enjoy, and it's mine. I made it. What's ever wrong with that, If you can change someone's life by simply talking to them, I feel like that'd be pretty special. Oh, can I dodge this? I put myself in a pickle. Oh! Oh, we're crazy! If you have a calling like that right now, whether it's just like a prompting to do so or someone that inspires you or touches you in your life, listen to them, act on it. See where it takes you. And it doesn't have to be just YouTube. It could be with anything. If you want to make videos, do that. If you want to draw or learn how to, do it. If you want to cook, learn how to cook. That's another goal of mine. I don't know how, and I want to learn. So soon I'll be putting a lot more money into buying meat and learning how to properly do it rather than just eating out. But living on my own becomes a dangerous ball game of eating out sometimes. Thankfully, I'm making a lot more than I'm eating. I mean, making a lot more than I'm spending, but it could have been bad. Someday I'll get better at that. It could be really anything. Talk to that girl or guy. Maybe they're the one. You don't know, but you would never know if you don't try. So that's just kind of my piece on that for the day. Just give things a try. Think it isn't over till it's over. Life is fleeting, and you just gotta take that leap of faith. these are stupid annoying to get, so I figured I'd try to get one now and then get more later. And who knows, maybe one day with my bass I can get into an orchestra. Maybe I can leave the job I have and chase my dream, you know? It makes good money, sure, but I'm not restricted to just that. I can go do more, you know? I just got to put the effort forward. So that's going to be my step. Feel free to share if you're taking any steps, you know? If what you chose to act on. You don't have to if you don't want to, obviously, but that'd be cool to see, you know, everyone's little goals that they have. Mine is currently to pick music back up and just, you know, be a part of all that again. Have music become a part of me. That was always something I loved way back when, where I played it for 7 years. I'd love to do that again, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Cooking's new and all that. I'm excited to try it out. I just need to take the step with some of these things. And so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, you can! Let's go! Saves me some dialogue mash. Well, I don't even know. It took me quite a few tries to land that in the first place. It's fine. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed listening. I haven't done anything like this before, so I hope you enjoyed. It was something, you know, a little bit of my life. I figured it'd be something fun to share. I hope you have something that came to mind, something that moves you to act, because if so, that's better than anything I could have hoped for. Have a great one, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.